Hello, my name is Trydar. Welcome to part 2 of the Roman Villa tutorial. Let's pick up right where we left off. So we had just finished the phase where we were laying down the initial 2-block layer of the foundations of the villa. And we did quite a lot of work on that one, so I think in this one we can get started and make a fair amount of progress. Don't know if we'll get through the entire villa today. It is not a very tall structure, but it is a very wide and long structure, so that takes some time. The gardens and the trees we have previously described. There's just a little bit more here for the plinths, for the soldier statues out front. 2 of those. Nothing too difficult there. You're just piling up some diorite and cobble. Over here, we are building a bit more of the triumphal arch entranceway, being done like so with our attached pilasters right there on 3 of the sides. Of course, one of these is a little bit lower because that's the height of the colonnade for the rest of the building, and you've already built these column bases. So now we are just stacking diorite column drums on top of those. If memory serves, these are going to be 6 blocks tall. So if you want to save a little time, you can go ahead and add 6 blocks of diorite to all the ones of those, and you can also go ahead and plant your planters with the double tall ferns here. I think we've placed all of those as well. For the inside here, there's just a little bit more on these bushes, just a couple of blocks like so. On the front here, we of course have some more columns, but for the walls, on top of the foundations that you placed last time over here, we want to be placing another layer of cobble and then a layer of stone bricks. And in general, for this building, in most places, we're going to be placing 2 more layers of cobble and then 1 more layer of stone bricks on top of that in a 1-to-2 ratio for those. So let's take a look at the outside of the room here. So as you can see, it's following the same pattern along the walls here. For the windows, we are doing the standard alternating of a full block and a pane and a full block, and on top of that a pane, a full block, and a pane. And we're making sort of a checkerboard pattern with the glass, and that will give your windows a lot of texture. It's a very standard technique that I like to use. Around these, of course, we have just plain diorite window frames. All the window frames and the windows look exactly like this. Once you build one, you know how to build the others. Over here for the doors, we just have simple wooden door frames built like so. With the interior here, we are alternating bands of prismarine bricks and dark prismarine and some prismarine bricks again. But on the inside, we use all the nice materials with the calcite and the quartz along the wall here to form these panels. And we already started laying out these panels in the last phase, so you can probably just quickly block up on those what they need to be. We have a little wall dividing here and your other small room on your wing. And of course, both of the wings are exactly the same design. They're just mirrored each other across the center line. So here, of course, we have some more windows. We have a little corner that we turn here. 3 more windows done like so. Well, actually 4. There's one here for the main room. Over here is a view of the main entranceway. We have a small vestibule behind the doorway here, and a couple of columns behind that as well. Before we go on the inside there, let's double back over here and take a look at the sides here. So we're doing the same pattern on the sides that we did below. We're just stacking up blocks on the exterior. If you remember from the last video, we're going to be making an arched pattern for those, and then we'll stack an entablature on top of that and the roof elements. So you want to follow that pattern all the way back here. This is going to be in a 1-to-5 ratio, except for back here where it is 4. Here for the back, we have the intercolumnation distance for these in general is going to be 3 blocks, which you should have already measured out. But for some of these columns on the corners, it's going to be 2 blocks back down there, and you can go ahead and stack up the column drums for the diorite. I believe it's 6 blocks tall for all of those. You want to go ahead and do that as well. For our little pavilions here, the same deal with all the column drums. And back here as well, at the back corner, our distance drops back down to 2. And 2 over here again, and then it expands back out to 3 till we get over here to this entranceway as well. The trees are the same design as the trees at the front, so I don't need to remark on those. I do need to show you a little bit more of the calcite here for the statues on either side of your pools of water, which are going to be serving as fountains. Of course, these are just the acroterions from the Parthenon. I have stolen those and copied them and pasted them to this design over here because they look good enough to reuse. And we could get all fancy with these and try and do stairs and half slabs and maybe tease out a little bit more detail. But to be honest, the more statues I build, I've just stopped using stairs and half slabs in general, unless it's for something really specific. So I think we've talked about everything there is back here. Did we fill in the fountain on the last one? I think we did not. So once you get to this point up here, you can put one bucket of water right there, and it will fill in your fountain with the little bowl here. And the half slabs here will guide it down below there. Just a very simple fountain design. It's the same fountain we used for the Roman estate tutorial, but we're using it now here for the villa. I think that sums up everything back here. So let's take a look at the exterior of the back porch. So this is the back entrance, which is just the same as the front. It's a straight copy and paste. The windows, I think, are the same design as well. So what you built directly across there, you're building that back here again for these 4 windows. Yet back here we have ferns in the middle of those for a little decoration. And we have 3 ferns here for these 2 wide windows back here outside the triclinium. All right, now let's go inside and take a more detailed look at the interior for the wall details in here. So for most of these, we are using not plain quartz. We used the plain quartz in the wings. We're now using chiseled quartz here. And we have a simple band of red nether brick and nether quartz on top of that. And we have this little eye pattern that we're doing here to mimic as best we can the first style of Roman art. This is exactly how they would decorate their houses. Very convenient for Minecraft because they would want to have big blocks of marble and very rare types of stone in their walls. Of course, mostly they were just painted plaster because, you know, Romans. They couldn't really afford the real thing if they were not the emperor. He was in general. You had to be really rich too, but in general, you opted for the painted wall plaster because you could not afford to get the real deal from all around the Mediterranean. Behind here, we have 4 pillars. Well, 2 of them are pilasters. The pilasters, remember, are the ones that are attached to the wall. The freestanding ones are the pillars. And we have 4 of those types here. The other 4 over here. Your little throne chair here in the middle, of course, optional. You can move around or have your own different design for throne chairs. Now, these the panels here, once you build one of these are a module right here. So once you build one of those, all the others, as you see along here, they follow exactly the same pattern as that. And they are going to be doing that throughout the building. It's a very standardized thing. Let me go back here and give you detailed views of what we're doing for the quartz on the exterior, though. We want to get a good look at that at this phase. We have our glass back here. We have just a little plain quartz behind that here for the frames, but in front of that we have our chiseled. Around the door frames here, we are using some nice expensive calcite though. And as we go, my torch placement here is optional. I assume if you're going to be building this in survival, you will need to put them all over the floor to mob-proof your building. We would not want to have a creeper blowing a big hole in your fine mosaic floor. That'd be really bad. Back here, for the window frames, we have fluted quartz, the quartz pillars upright. Beside those, just to dress up these window frames a little bit more than some of the others, because this is one of our nicer rooms. It's the same design on both sides. Back here in our triclinium, we have some chiseled back here for the walls, some detail here for the doors that are facing in the wrong direction, so never mind that. But as you can see here, we have some pillar blocks on their sides over the lintel here, and then some stairs like that there. And I need to give you good views inside here of the stairwell, so we'll take a look at that from the ground level here. Yeah, wish those doors wouldn't do that. Anyway, we have the other side here, just the same. And let's take a look at that from the top down here, so you can see how all of that is fitting in. Alright, and I already explained how to do the walls, so we'll just take one look here for these small windows right there. And of course, as an aside, if you want to start modifying the plan, if you want to insert windows into the sides of the elements here, there is some space for you to do that, but it's going to mess up your interior patterns here. So I didn't really add those. I didn't figure there was going to be anything to look at over on the sides of your villa. It's mostly, in true Roman fashion, we have a facade orientation, meaning the building is designed to face this way, and all the elements do that. They don't really look out to the side. They look out to the front and the back because we have a nice back area out here. But since we didn't dress up the sides or anything, there's nothing to see, so I did not include windows. Now let me go back here and we'll take a good overview, top down, of the whole thing that we have so far before we move on to the next phase. I think I've talked about everything there is to talk about here. Alright, so let us go over here to the next phase. Let's start at the front and work our way back as we do. So right here we have, again, we're extending up our plinth just 2 more blocks like so. All of our columns, I already talked about how to do those like that. Around here we have the stone bricks and the cobble alternating in the 1:2 ratio, like I said that they would do. They are doing this on the sides as well. Same pattern, you're just continuing that all the way back. Just straight on top of what you've already built. We need to take a look at the triumphal entranceway here. So we're extending this up, but over here we're alternating our stone bricks and our cobble in just a 1:1 ratio. As you can see fairly clearly done here. Both of these are stone bricks. It just it varies it a little in my texture pack there, so don't let that throw you. Done like so. Over here, let's take a look at the side rooms. We're building a bit over the doorway here. We're going to be building a diorite lintel, and we have some stone bricks on either side of those. For our windows, the 3x2 thing I showed you here, and the last thing, you can consider this a small module, and you want to stack that up exactly the same for the next 2 blocks, just alternating your full block and your glass pane as you go. On the inside here, though, for the decoration, we're extending our quartz up, but we're now using dark prismarine, and I've completely forgotten the tile deep slate. That's what it's called. It's so new, I don't remember the block name. No, but it is a quite pretty block. Very nice to tile in with the dark green here on the wall here in sort of a diamond pattern. Of course, you are going to be using that throughout our villa. And once you build one of these wall patterns, they're a module. So all the other wall patterns look the same. They're just a little bit different over here by the door. And the next room is the same, only the door is in a slightly different position. Like so here. On the outside, you're just continuing up all the same patterns with the cobble and the diorite. Turning the corner and doing the same for these 4 windows along here. And for the front as well here for your front door of your villa. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll take a look inside and then we'll go take a look at the back. Alright, so inside the front entrance vestibule, here is the pattern in here. We have to squeeze down our 3 block wide wall pattern into 2. Over here, it's all the space we had. You can see at this level we're transitioning from the chiseled quartz to the upright quartz blocks. Or just a little bit of decoration, sort of some integrated pillars into the wall. Like so there, a little detail for the window frame. Stacking up calcite here for the pillars and the pilasters. And of course calcite for our door frame here, just like we did in the side rooms. And just like we did in the side rooms, we were alternating the red nether brick and the deep slate tiles. I forgot again. So because it's a Roman building, we have to use quite a lot of red on the interior. Some of the red they would use would be a lot brighter than what I'm using. But to our modern sensibilities, it looks just a little bit too garish. I think the shade of red they would use would be more like this. But it's not really my favorite. I like to go for the deeper and richer colors. So that is what I have done with the selections for the villa here. Of course, if you have, everyone has a favorite color and things they prefer. So if you want to change up the wall pattern design here, as I said, they are all modular. So you can come back through and do that yourself to your own taste. I think we covered everything there was in this room. Of course, I've said that the vestibule over here, it's the same size as the one for the back over there. That's just a straight copy. Same for the windows on this side as for on that side. For the triclinium back here, little details here for the windows. Everything is just pretty much going straight up at this phase, really. All we're doing is texturing blocks at different phases and adding details here and there. Let's go in here, remove those doors again, and take a look at the stairwell. As we did here, I tried to dress it up a little bit with some chiseled quartz. Like so, but it's directly against some of those walls, so there wasn't too much I could do about it. We have to leave space for the stair to have a landing and then turn and start going up in this direction. This was really the only space left to put a stairwell into the villa. Let's see. Take a look at the exterior at the back. Let's start at the corner here. So the exterior with the smaller windows here and the larger ones. Same patterns we're doing at the front. You're just building those directly up on the foundations we've already laid out. For the door at the back, same exact deal as the front. And the pillars as well. I don't need to talk about the trees, I don't think. I've told you what to do with all the pillars. Let's just, we need to talk about the little equatorions here. So these are mirrored, by the way. The only difference in these is going to be the placement of the legs here. So one of them is reared up on this side and that one is down, but if you go over here, that one is down and this one This one is reared up, so they're mirrored on either side of that. And there's just you can put one bucket of water here, and that will have them with the fountain like that. I did try putting it up here for the mouth there, but the water splayed out too much. If you put it right here, the legs will kind of guide it down into a more condensed pattern. So let me give you a good view of this here. It's not a very difficult statue. It is a standard one I've done a couple of times. I think I did bother to rebuild it in, I think, the last part of the Parthenon tutorial. So if you need more detail on that, please refer to that older video. I think that is all to see back here on this phase. All right, so we can go on to the next one. Let's start up here again and take a look at the plinth for our shoulder statues. Once we get to the statue itself, as I've said, the soldier statue, it has its own dedicated tutorial, so I'm just going to show you the plinth and then refer you to that video. So we're putting some dentils here, 3 on either side, upside down stone brick stairs in that pattern right there. For over here, the gateway, the triumphal entrance, we're building this like so. It's not very difficult to put together. Just stone bricks and cobble, diorite, and some stairs. I think now our pillars should have reached their full 6-block height, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So on the next phase, we will be adding our Corinthian capitals. So I won't remark on those. I assume you have already gone around and extended all those up to their full 6-block height. Over here, we have, of course, the flat walls over here with the alternating stone brick layers and 2 layers of cobble. Along the sides here, though, at this level, we are putting in what is going to be the bottoms of some arches, which we are going to be building like that there. I believe out of diorite. Just some decorative incised arches to give it a more Roman feel. Over here, we're finishing off the windows with the diorite, and on either side, we have some upside down cobblestone stairs. For the doorway, we have a small triangular pediment we're forming over that with some upside down stairs and some half slabs. On top of that, a little bit of diorite behind those for an accent. Like so, and of course each doorway you want to build one of these over all of them. And the windows as well. Oh, trees in the way. The windows over here, they follow the same pattern as the other windows. Of course, your front door is the same as well. Let's take a look inside these side rooms, though. So the pattern in here, it's following the diamond or checkerboard pattern with the deep slate tiles. I remember what they were called this time. And the dark prismarine, same pattern. We're just extending those up. Each panel should be the same, so you can go around the room and construct all those. Behind the doors here, we're building roughly the same pattern as we did on the exterior here. I think it's just a little bit smaller with the quartz, and behind those we are using some prismarine bricks for an accent there. And details here for the windows and the side rooms. Their frames are just made out of quartz with upside down quartz stairs on the top and the bottom. Over here, let's take a look at the stairwell, I think. So if we go up the stairs, we have just a small landing here, just enough space for us to turn around and go up the next flight of stairs, like you see done here. Just simple decorations in this. All we really want to do inside this room is hide the cobblestone. We don't want to see any gray blocks on the inside. Done like this here. Just a couple of stairs up there form a little arch. And on the other side again, we have the fluted blocks. We're stacking up again. Those are now 4 blocks tall. And of course, we have our repeating pattern for the wall modules made out of the red and the deep slate tiles. And of course, all of those are the same. You already know the placement of all of these, so I would leave it to you to go around and stack up all of those. And the doorway details on the large doors in here are the same as we did on the side rooms. We just have some nether quartz ore behind those. Just stairs and half slabs. And of course, they're identical on either side. And both of the doors here are the same, as is the main entranceway and the exit behind there for the main doors of your room. All right, and on the interior, we've just been stacking up. I think it's going to be 6 blocks on the inside here for the now what is this block called? Calcite. Oh goodness, I'll remember these new block names someday. I think we've taken a look at all the inside rooms here. I need to give you views of. I think the windows, they're being done the same design as the side rooms. They just have a little bit nicer details with quartz pillars laying on their sides up here with the fluted blocks for the frames on the side. And of course, these are a module again. So once you do one of these windows, you want to do all the other ones the same way. And I think that takes care of the interior. So let's start here at the front porch, which is done. I mean the back porch, which is done the same as the front. And of course the windows back here and the columns. This is all repeating patterns just carried around from the front. No surprises back here for that. We just have to shorten these little windows by a couple of blocks there. All right, so on the back here, we need to take a little bit more look at these acroterions, or rather our sculptural fountains. I think this might finish those. There might be another block. We'll just take a close look at this here. So of course we have our heads here, just a couple of blocks, and we have our wings being done out to the side here. Both wings are symmetrical, by the way. So once you do one of those, just do the other one the exact same, on the other side, like that there. All right, I think that is all there is to say about this phase. So we can make progress and move on to the next one. So over here, we are finishing the plinth for our statues. It is finished at this level here. We're just putting a cornice of upside down stone brick stairs as a square all the way around. And on top of that, we're using some, I think these are chiseled stone bricks in my texture pack. I think on the reference model over there, I changed them to cobble. I didn't bother to change them here. But this is the base for the Roman soldier statue. And from this point onwards, if you want to construct those or put some other statue here, perhaps, that I've had a tutorial for, feel free to select that from my existing library of videos if you want to make a substitution here. But if you don't, if you just want to make the Roman soldier statue, it has its own dedicated tutorial, which I will now refer you to. All right, back over here for the triumphal entranceway. So we put some diorite here in last phase, and what we're going to be doing with this one is making an arch that is going to look something like that there. It's as good as we can do with Minecraft for an arch at this scale. And you'll have your little archway through there. And on the other side of this, of course, we want to start... now, for all of these pillars that we have been building, once you built your 6 blocks of diorite, you can come behind there, and for this part, you can probably save some diorite and just put some cobble in there for fill. But on the inside of this, you want to have your upside-down cobblestone stairs and your upside-down stone brick stairs on one face, and then do it on all 4 faces to represent the acanthus leaves for our Corinthian capitals. And that is what you're doing at this phase. So for every one of these columns we have built all the way around the villa, you want to go around and add a Corinthian capital to all of those. However many there are of those. I haven't really counted them. I'm sure there's at least 100. But I will leave that to you. Over here we have for our wall, of course, we are doing the same alternating with the cobble and the stone bricks, but we do have our fully completed arches like I described. One arch hopping over to another one and to another one, capping off these indentations or corrugations that we have been making on the side here and flattening that out like you see done there. On the inside face, we have just some upside down stone brick stairs as a lintel over our windows. Like you see there, we have just one more slab there to cap off the little triangular pediment over our doorway, like so. And of course, once you do one of these windows and one of the doors, they are all exactly the same all the way around the building. Just on top of what you have been previously making, like that there. Let's take a look inside the side rooms now. The pattern is changing a little bit. We are getting near the ceiling, so we are finishing off the pattern here with some more prismarine bricks done like so. And over the doorway here, I didn't bother to separate these out with more quartz, although I probably should have done that. I think if I was going to do this again, you might want to make a little edit here and put some quartz right there so we can continue the separation of that. Up to the top there, it might look okay. And think about that. I will leave that to you to make the final decision on that if you want to add that or not. Maybe you can try it and see what you think. But the wall panels, they're all the same, of course, as are the ones on the inside rooms here. Same design. We're putting more nether quartz ore up along the top here. And on the inside also, we are using quartz stairs just upside down, just like we did on the outside pillars. But we want to have nicer materials on the inside. Remember, the Romans would always spend their money on their interiors more so than their exteriors. Having perfect exteriors is a Greek thing. But you want to do that for all your columns like you see done here. Of course, when they're attached to the wall, we're only doing this on 3 faces. Like so. But details over here for the wall patterns for the entrance vestibule. And over the windows as well, we are continuing our wall pattern like so here. Alright, I think that's all there is to take a look at on the interior. Just a whole bunch of repeating patterns in here that I'm sure you are familiar with by now. I'm sure you've done all the Corinthian capitals back here as well, and I think I don't see any more blocks up here, so we did finish these acroterion here, your sculptural water features to decorate the back plaza area with your pools and everything. And you already know how to build the trees, so there's nothing else to talk about back there, and we can move on to the next phase. So back here we have just the base of the Roman soldier statues. In place of, I used to use black stone or nether brick on this, but we are now using the deep slate tiles because they look a lot nicer. And we have just a block of glowstone down there to help light the whole thing up. But you could just as easily throw a torch right down there as well. And for these, I will now refer you to the Roman soldier statue tutorial so we can save time and move along on to the entranceway over here. So we built this little arch out of diorite, like I pointed out on the last phase. Over this, we want to put in a small attached entablature of diorite. Of course, we have our Corinthian capitals here. They're one block taller than the ones on the sides. They're just stuck into the building, like so here. Same design on both sides. Now, on top of your columns, all the ones we have been building, you want to do a straight line of cobble, just straight down the middle, directly on top of the pillars, like you see done here. And on top of that, you want to put down a line of diorite directly on top of the cobble. And this is going to be our entablature. Right here at this scale, it's going to be a very simple entablature. Over here, and this line, this continues unbroken all the way around the building. So let me just, I think let's come back to this and let's trace it on the inside for the inside of the courtyard first, and then we'll go around back. Underneath here, we do have some cutouts. Of course, we have some cobblestone lintels that are attached to the building, but in between those, we have a 2x3, and then 3x3, and then a 2x3 here, and then another one of those below here. And of course, as you can see, we have cobblestone lintels that are being attached to the building, and these are going to be attaching above the window frames here. And in between those, you just want to make a little rectangle out of diorite like that up there, as just little coffers along the side of the walkway here. Let me just walk underneath here and show you. It gets a little more detailed here in the corner, and along the front here, and then along your front porch right here. And I want to show you this from the top down. A lot of diorite being used at this phase, as you can see. On top of all the columns, you're putting just straight lines of cobble and straight lines of diorite, and then you're adding the coffers and the lintels behind those. And so take a look inside these side rooms before we get away from this. So it's very easy for this one. You're just putting in a straight band of calcite and then a band of right side up quartz pillars, like you see done here, all the way around the room, like so. And of course, both of these rooms are the same design. And let's go around the site here and follow the rest of the exterior, though, and then we'll talk about the interior. So, as I said, you want to lay down your cobblestone and your diorite right on top of each other. This connects directly with the pillars in the back, like so, and it continues straight on until you get to the very back of your villa. Back here, and of course, we turn a corner back here because we have no more columns, and we continue it on over this way here. And it's broken in the middle because we're going to have a little archway over here. And of course, it extends over the top of these 4 columns, just like that there. Over here on the side for our pavilions, this does attach and extend on top of our pavilion. This will be easiest if I just show you this from the bottom up, I think. So you can see we have a very simple sort of a tic-tac-toe shape in here with the 9 squares. And in the middle of those, we have coffers of diorite and then just holes in the middle, which are going to get roofed over with just straight cobble, I think. Fairly easy design. Back here, of course, the design for your the back porch is the same as your front. The exact same. Underneath here on the sides is the same deal for how these columns and the entablatures attach to these walls. Over here, however, we have we break the facade just a little bit with these windows back here just on this flat wall. And of course, we have this column over here just attached directly into the wall. All right, so we can now take a look on, I think, the inside. So let's start here at the vestibule. So we have some quartz details here. We have just a little molding made out of upside down quartz stairs and some slabs connecting those, like you see done there. And of course, decorating all along the top, we have, just like we have for our side rooms, we have calcite, band of that all the way around the building. On top of that, though, this is our nicer, more decorated room. So we have the quartz pillars on their sides, and the stairs, the upside down stairs here, alternating a stair and then a block, and then a stair and then a block, in a dentale type design. And it only gets a little messy in some of the corners. We don't have we can't get the stairs to form just a cutout over here, so we have to just pick a direction for that. Being done like this along here. Take a look in the next room. Of course, the design in here is the same. But the calcite, it overhangs the windows in here. It follows the tops of the columns, by the way. Like that there. And on the inside over here. And here in our side rooms, we have the same design again, just on a smaller scale. Give you good slow views along the sides here. If your stairs and your blocks end up being a different pattern, that's completely fine. I myself rearranged these a couple of times before I settled on the final design. I think we need to take a look at the stairs here. I might have skipped those in the last phase. Let's go all the way back down and take a look at, well, for consistency's sake, let's take a look at them from this side over here. So we're going up our stairs here. We are... No, I had it right the first time. Over here, back with the stairs, so let's land at the bottom. And take a look at the stairs here, going upwards like so. It's kind of a maze of stairs, right side up and upside down, going up at different angles. If I had more room, I would have put a dividing wall between those. But as you can see, we had just enough room to put in these stairs here and nothing else. But you can arrange these in whatever pattern you need to get the stairs to get up to the next level. As long as they meet at the top, that's really all that matters. And I think that is all there is to take a look at on that phase. So we can go on to the next one. So over here, a bit more detail for our triumphal entranceway. There's not too much more to build on this. Now we're putting a cornice on top of our entablature. Right there. With upside down stone brick stairs. And we start that here. And this is going to be pretty much an unbroken line of this all the way around the building. Like you see being done here. And on top of those, in most places, we're going to be putting cobblestone slabs. And then to cap the whole thing off, we're going to be alternating the deep slate tiles and the red nether brick in a 5-to-1 ratio here. We're just following where we put the columns down there. We're putting slabs on top of those. And we're putting some roof tiles on top of those here. I think we're just going to be putting like one more slab on top of that, and that will be finishing that detail. And let me just give you a look around here, around the back. From the top down there, just a straight sheet of diorite with some cobble at the corners. On the inside here and on the other side, we're of course doing the same with the upside down stairs. All along here, you can see we've got cobble slabs on top of that. All the way around here and at the front as well. But we're going to be forming our triangular pediment over the top of our porch. We're going to be building, how many of those? 4? 4 on the main house and a couple more on the back there, but we'll get to that in a moment. But we're starting that back here, so we have to bring our blocks out one more block here. This is for the raking cornice, which we are doing here. We are doing this with full blocks here and then stacked half slabs on top of that. And it's going to be going up with a pattern like this here as we go, but you're going to be doing that not out of these materials, but out of stone bricks. Behind this, we are building out now some of the roof of at least the front wings here. We are doing this with, of course, the red nether brick and the deep slate tiles, but now it is the deep slate tile slabs that we will be using here for the roof, like that there, and then of course the red nether bricks are the full blocks, and the deep slate tiles are the half slabs. And we're going to be building also some decorative fennels as we go on the sides here. I don't remember if they're that tall or that tall. Looks like they're just that tall. But we will get to those in a moment. But we're doing those out of diorite. And of course we have cobblestone ridges separating the roof elements to make our roof look a little bit more interesting. But I will show you this from the sides here. And along the corners there. And along the front here. And of course all of this here at the front, this is the same as the porch I just showed you. You're just building one on the side here as a decoration for the front of your wings. Now along the side here, we are doing again the roof tiles, just like you see. Now once you build one of these, you build one of those again and again and almost again. It shortens a little bit, and then it widens back out, and then it gets really wide right here. And then we have the top of the decoration for our little colonnade here on the sides. But let's turn the corner here and take a look at the roof elements here. We'll take a look at the inside beams in a moment. As you can see, we're going to be putting on the ceiling for some of our rooms. And back here again, of course, this design is exactly the same as what you built at the front there. And you're just filling everything underneath here in with cobble. Underneath the porches, wherever we left those holes, you're just roofing that over with straight blocks of cobble. Let's go back here and take a look inside the side rooms. have a quick potion so we can see. So for this, we are using our oak tree trunks, just laying them on their sides as beams. And then we're putting, I think, oak or spruce, that looks like oak, half slabs for coffers in the middle of those. And, oh, we have some exposed cobble. That shouldn't be there. Like I missed this over here. This should also be, the red there should be one of the oak beams like that there. Just like on the other side there, just over there. Looks like they missed that little section. I usually find something that I miss when doing these. Over here, I did the ceiling correctly though, as you can see. Where we did the top of the quartz pillars last time, we're just putting a molding of quartz stairs all the way around the room. Upside down stairs in a big rectangle like that. And then build in your wooden beams there for your ceiling. Of course, we could possibly have gotten a little bit more fancy and put in maybe a barrel vault over there. But a coffer design is a very standard Roman design of this period. So that is what I decided to do for the ceilings, except in the main room here. So in our main room here, we are using some upside down quartz stairs as a cornice to top off the entablature on the inside here. And behind this, we are stepping back the blocks a bit because we are going to start building the lowest parts of our rib vault that we have in here, our really nice rib vault we're going to be constructing. And we're doing this, of course, with calcite, as you see done here. It's stepped back one block on the sides here, but on the front and the back, it's stepped back 2 blocks. And of course, we just have some plain quartz behind there to dress that up. So I'll show you that from the top down. And I think perhaps if I show you this next part from the top down also, it would be more illuminating. So we are doing the same design that we did on our small rooms with the oak beams. We're just doing it on a bigger scale with the coffers for the ceiling of our other rooms. So there's that there. Let's take a look at that from the bottom. So you can see how that fits in here. Of course, we have our molding of upside down quartz stairs, big rectangle all the way around the room. Well, I think this room's actually a square. I think, yeah. But as you can see, there's a very clear pattern that you want to make with your beams. You just want to stretch them across this way and then fill them in that way. Not too difficult. Your side room here, same deal with the pattern of the beams, like you see done there. Let's take a look here at our stairwell. Still doing this little corkscrew around here. Just going to do this for a couple of times. We are almost to the point where we're going to be getting to be the second floor up here, though. The second floor rooms, they all sit on top of the side rooms over here. What do I need to talk about? We need to take a look at these side pavilions over here now. So this is the same pattern but smaller that we did for our front and back porch over there for those pediments. You're doing that again, just on a smaller scale over here. Of course, with these, we're bending all of the upside down blocks around, and then that block back there should probably be cobble, so that these stairs will connect like that there. And of course, you want to do that all the way around here and connect it back again. Connect it back again. And then all the way around back here until it connects to this thing in the middle, where it gets broken again because we're going to be bending up our entablature into an arch shape. Over here on either side of that. to make this decorative entranceway on the back here. I'll give you some details of the inside of that there. And as you can see with our diorite, we're going to be doing our familiar arch pattern. Again, like that there. And on the sides here, we are going to have some little decorative finales here, like that there. And details with the deep slate tiles and the red nether brick, like you see here over the tops of those. I think the next phase we will finish that off completely, and we will be done with all those. I think by this time, I think your trees, you should have gone around and built all of those. If you haven't, now is a good time to do that. Did that tree get chopped off? I think it did. That's interesting. This tree should have a couple more blocks like that there. I pasted it from this side, so it's a small oversight. It's easy to miss these blocks when they're the big leaf blocks. But I think that is all there is to take a look at this phase here. So let us go on to another one. Give you a quick view of the Sildur statue. Right here, it's not very complicated at this phase. Go back to our doorway, our triumphal entranceway, rather. So once you stack up some diorite and cobble here, you want to put another one of these, just like we put down here, over there. And I think the next phase will finish that off, and then our eagle statue will sit on top of that. This is just designed to be a little an entranceway, but also a perch for our big Roman eagle up there. Same on both sides. And as I said, the only other detail we have to do for these things is to go around and put in, I think, just a half slab on top of that. These are full blocks here, so we have just a half slab on top of those, cobblestone. On every one of these, wherever you had one, on the colonnade, you want to do this all the way around the building, on the front, and mostly on the back, though. So I will leave you to do that. Let's go back to the center pediment here, take another look at that. So as I've said, you are doing the alternating full blocks and the double half slabs. On top of those, behind those, we want to come back with cobblestone half slabs and undercut them by a half slab. And of course, a solid diorite behind that for the pediment. We just want to have some decorations on the side here with just a couple of blocks of diorite, as you see done here. And you can see we have a very simple repeating pattern now for the roof tiles. You can see every time you place a full block of red nether brick, you want to place deep slate half slabs, deep slate tile half slabs on either side of that, and just make a simple alternating pattern like we are doing here. This is going to be the exact same, without exception, all the way around the villa. And of course, where you place the last couple of blocks of diorite back down here on the last phase, you want to place one more here, one there, and one there, like that, to make these little decorations, these little decorative finales along the side of your building, like so. And behind those, we have these ridges made out of cobblestone to divide up our roof segments. Done like that here. Of course, this is more of a Renaissance touch, really, that I've added. I mean, there aren't really enough surviving Roman roofs to go around and know if they did this or not. But I do it because it looks nice on the villa anyway. And along the front here, we just have another copy of what you did over there for that pediment. That's exactly the same. that you do along here. And of course, the roof segments along the sides here, we already established the spacing for those. It gets a little bit shorter in this one here where it starts interfacing with the building. Then it gets longer and then longer again on the sides here. And of course, we have these little bent fennels on the sides back here because those don't carry on top of the colonnade there. Let's turn the corner here, take a look at this back here. We'll take a look at the rooms behind this in a moment. We just want to take a look at the roof and follow that so we can get a good view of how that looks around the building. All right, let's come back to the house as the last thing. Let's continue on around here and take a look at these. So, as I said, these are copies of what you did over there. They're just smaller. So you're following the same exact patterns, but you can already see that these are meeting at a point. Like so up here, same thing with just the very simple diorite decorations. One division of the roof here, just in 2 sections on either side. And as I said, this is the only point in this villa where it will hang out 1 block over the side here from what we have been doing. Let's go back here and take a look at the arched entranceway back here so we can see that we are bending our entablature around an arch here. Like so, interior detail. And along the front here, on either side of these, we're of course adding more of these little decorative fennels. Like so. So not too difficult to build, but it's very ornamental. And of course, the arched entablature here, that's I'm stealing that directly from Emperor Hadrian's villa at Tivoli, so you can have that detail in your own Roman villa. Now, let us take a look at the inside of our main room here. So, on top of your calcite, you want to have just straight nether quartz. And then we have a very simple pattern. We are mirroring the pattern we did down here for the walls. We're just continuing that again. Up here for the semicircular sections, we're going to have up here done like so. For the interior in here, let's in here have another potion. So you can see we get a little fancy with the oak blocks and half slabs in here to give our coffered ceiling a design. So we can have a sort of a carved coffered ceiling up here. Very fancy. The least we can do for our grand Roman villa. And of course it gets a little more plain as we get away from the main room. You're just roofing this over with straight oak up there. And let's take the opportunity to go up the stairs here. Get a good view at these. I think our stairwell is just about finished. Actually, at this level here. So this is where our stairs finally get up to where they are going. And you can see we're just doing a simple alternating checkerboard pattern of spruce and oak. If you have a different material that you want to have up here for a different checkerboard pattern, or whatever material you would like to use up here for a floor, do feel free to make a substitution. Over here we have the door jambs we're going to have here. I think if I just show you that from the top down, especially with the checkerboards and everything, it will be very easy to count out the floor up here so you can get those in the correct positions. And I'll just raise up here a little bit more, like so. And I think I think that is all there is to see on this face here, so we can go on to another one. And I think we're close enough to the end. I'm going to go ahead and make a push and finish this in one video here. It might go a little bit long though, but I don't think we have enough to go for another full third part, so I want to get this all out to you today. Over here for our entranceway, we are indeed finishing this off here. We're just doing this with some of these stone slabs here, and then some cobble in the middle there. And on top of that, this is going to be the lowest most portion of your eagle statue, your grand Roman eagle statue. And of course, this thing has its own dedicated tutorial. So I'll just show you the footprint here where it goes. And for the rest of this, I will refer you to the Roman eagle tutorial video for how to do that. Over here, let's take a look at the now finished pediment on the front. You can see we've met up here at an apex. And we are going to have, I think, also some decoration on top of that. Like that there. Behind that, we just have a central ridge of cobble that will extend here to touch our building. We also have a little ledge of cobble here before we have our walls. Now, I think for these, you can use the floors that we built in the last phase to help you lay out the rooms here. So we'll take a good look at this from the top down, and then we'll take a closer look at it in a moment. We have our finished stairwell there. A room here. Of course, our walls between the interior and the exterior are 2 blocks thick on average, so we can have different materials between the two. Like so here, and we'll take a more detailed look at this other room in a moment. So let's land here, coming up from our stairwell. As we do here, so we have a little hallway, a couple of windows. Right there, our doors, which are all in the wrong positions. Like that here. And just for these upper rooms, we are doing very simple decorations out of quartz and the black stone. Like you see done here. We're doing this in a 1-to-2 pattern though, because they are more simplistic. It varies a little bit over here by our windows though. But the windows are the standard alternating pane and full block as we have been doing. And I think those are fairly self-explanatory. Let's go back over here and take a look at the finished pediment at the front. So as you can see down the middle here, we have a straight ridge of cobble. And this will go down this way and meet the side of the second story of our villa up here, where upon which it will change to stone bricks. Right there. So this is why we have this section a different length than the other ones, because it needed to meet across the front there. And along the side here, we have this detail here where we have our roof tiles going up to meet the second story right there. And just like we did below, we have of course smaller windows on the top, but they are outlined in the same way with the diorite and the alternating layers of cobble and stone bricks. And of course in the middle here, we're at the back now, in the middle here, we have 2 windows at the top here to light up our main room just a little bit. At this level, we are now starting to curve and make our arches to make our large rib vault at the top here. As we have done so, we're doing that. We're just starting that over here with these couple of blocks of calcite. It's going to be the same in all of the four corners of the build. Over here you can see we have a diamond shaped pattern made with the deep slate tiles against the background of the red nether brick. You can see it on the sides here. You kind of lose it over here with the windows though. At the back here, we are almost finishing off. Well, we can go ahead and finish off if you want to go ahead and place a couple of blocks of diorite here for those little decorations. Then that will finish off these side pavilions at the back here. Just a little decorations. Of course, we have just a couple of cobblestone walls here for a little extra decoration there. And at the back here, we can also finish this off by just adding that block there. So I'll give you a good view of this here. And I believe it is at this phase that we are finishing off all the work that we have been doing for the fountains at the back, for the pools, the fountains, the sculptures, the colonnades, the gardens, the pediments, all that good stuff. And just underneath here, very simple, like so, with the cobbled deep slate and the stone bricks. Alright, so we have now finished off the front wings almost. We have just a couple of little decorations actually. Let's go on to the next phase and take a look at those. So we're putting just a couple of decorations here, just one more block of diorite there, and that will finish off your wings. Well, I mean, behind that you want to put every other block a cobblestone half slab so we can have a little decorative ridge going all along our wings on the side here, and that will finish off your wings. And as I've said, the Sildur statue and the eagle have their own video, so we're going to save time and not talk about those anymore. At the front here, we are doing the same thing. There's one more block there, and the half slabs behind that, and that will finish off all of that. So from this point onwards, the only thing we have left to build is the second story. So let us focus in on that. Let's start with the main room, and then the side rooms, and that's how we will go with that. So here is the pattern on the side here, where we are making an arch, 4 arches along the sides here. But in the middle of these, we need to make a big we need to make a big X shape around the room, and then sort of lift that up into the air, and then bend it into the shape of the groin vault here to add the ribbing. I'm going to do a tutorial on this technique separately, but I'm going to go ahead and of course have to show it to you here with the villa. So you can see here we have just the simple diamond pattern with the red and the black. The quartz here, this is following the contours of our arches on the sides there. Details here for our window frames. We have the nice fancy window frames with the quartz pillars upright, and then on their sides here down at the bottom and at the top. And once you do one of these corners like this, the other corner over here, this is the exact same, just mirrored on the other side, and then of course mirror that whole thing on the other side there. For the side rooms, let's go back here to our stairwell and walk up from that. Of course, we just have straight red nether brick on the walls here. If you want to get fancy and try to do a pattern here, or maybe use some more glazed terracotta, if you want to have maybe some mosaics on your walls, you could do that as well. But generally, when I do the tutorials, I like to use some of the more basic materials and not make it too fancy. And the patterned decoration, because it can be a little bit more difficult to follow that way. So here are details for the simple door frame, just a bit of chiseled quartz and stairs over that, like so. For the doorways, all the doorways are the same. This one kind of got squished against the wall over here though, but the others are the same. And you're just building all of that straight up on the pattern that we already laid down in the last phase. So we can go on to the next phase. Start with the main room here, making a lot of progress on this. So I'm going to have to slow down here and give you good views of what we're doing here with the calcite and the quartz ore. So you can see in the middle here, remember I said something about we need to make a big X in the middle of the room, and that is what we are doing here. We're making just a big X with the calcite to form the ribbing. And as you can see, it's already going to meet in the middle here at this little quartz with the skylight. But ignore this free-floating quartz at the moment. We can place that later. But for reference, that should be directly in front of your throne chair at this block here, just straight up there. But let's take a look again on the side here. So we're building our arches, as you can see, right there and right here. Now this one is 1 block in thickness, but back here it's 2. It's 2 blocks in thickness. And details here for the quartz and our ribbing. And of course, once you do that on one side, you want to rotate it and build it again. And then mirror that entire thing on the other side here. It's probably going to be one of the most difficult parts of this build, especially if you haven't done one of these vaults before. This will probably be your first vault. First one is always going to be the hardest, but it's one of the key features of the building. It makes it look really nice. So it's worth going to the extra effort. The finished window frames here. And let's quickly take a look at the side rooms here. So, details for this, just straight quartz, a bit more red nether brick and black and back to the not black stone. I forgot what they were called. Deep slate tiles around the edges here and all of the panels, as you see. And that's pretty much all there is on those side rooms. They're very basic. They're just second floor rooms. They don't have to be that nice. On the exterior, though, there is, I need to mention that, we have some details here for the window frames. On the outside, these are pretty much just smaller versions of what we did down there for the wings. We're just doing them again up here at the top. And that is indeed all there is. So once you have done that for this phase, we are putting on another entablature. And we are doing that, of course, with just a straight block run of a big rectangle of diorite all the way around the top of the second story. And on top of that, you want to come around and put a cornice of upside down stone brick stairs. Just a big rectangle all the way around, like you see done here. And at the sides we have just, this is hanging out a little because we're going to have some triangular pediments. I mean, well, not just triangular elements on the sides there. So this is the raking cornice part for that. And for these, we're actually finishing off the ceiling of these side rooms, and we're doing that with just a simple coffered roof design, just like we did for the rooms below, like you see done here. And I will just show you this from the top down here so you can see the pattern. They just go directly on top of the walls that we have on the interior there. And that will finish off those rooms entirely. So over here, it's complicated, but we're going to go slow. So let's go in here. Let's make sure we're facing forward. So here is facing forward. We have the 2-block thick archway, now complete, as you can see, made out of the calcite. The front and the back one are identical to each other with the windows. They're outlined there by the red nether brick. The red nether quartz, as you can see on all the 4 sides. Over here, this one is just 1 block in thickness, like so. And on top of that, we have our rib vault. It has the shape of this roof. This room is not exactly square. It's 1 block longer on that way than it is on the sides. So let me just show you this from the bottom up, and we'll slowly zoom in to the parts here so you can see how this is put together. Now for this, you are following the contours of the calcite that we laid down, and you're putting quartz up 1 block above that. And then for your ribbing along here, you're edging that out with nether quartz, and in between that, you're filling that in with red nether brick, and in some places we have decorative elements here of the deep slate tiles. So let me try and give you every view of this possible. In the middle here, you can see we're meeting in the middle with the calcite. And here are these stairs from the last phase, but we have calcite on top of that. And then we just have we have some glass here because this is going to be a skylight to let some natural light into your build. I generally like to do this with these vaults like that. And I'll just show you that from the top down here as well. All right, and perhaps another view in here. Well, we'll take a good slow view on the next phase. I think maybe if you see it in a more complete version, that will do it. For the exterior, we are putting on the roof for the 2nd story, which will be capping off our villa. And that is going to be being done just in the same way we put on the roof down there for the lower sections. We're doing that again. We're just putting on a bigger one up here. So I will go along here and show you the divisions for the roof segments. They, for the most part, they tend to line up with the ones down there. And that's in the middle here, by the way. And then along the side here, you're just doing the triangular roof thing, just like we did for that one over there. You're doing all of that again over here in the same way as before. Just along the front and the back, exactly the same. And in the middle here, I'm just, we have a little glass for our skylight that I mentioned. And I've just filled in the entire thing back there with cobble. If you leave that empty though, you can perhaps get creative and add in some wooden beams underneath there to hold up your roof if you so choose. There's not that much space up there for that though, so I just filled it in with cobble. Let's have a potion so we can see what we're doing in here. So this is now a fully complete model of the rib vaulted section. As you can see, let's get our bearings here. So there's our throne chair. So we're facing forward here with the windows. And I'm going to just give you very long and slow views on this. Just pause as we go so you can see the block patterns so you can trace them out. But as you can see, the shape of our vault, it follows the contours of the calcite arches. It's just set one block farther up, and they're extended into the space in the middle here. And of course, they're edged out on the sides with the nether quartz ore. All right. So once you have put that together, this will complete the interior of our villa. So all there is to talk about somewhat briefly is going to be the continuing roof elements. So you're just filling that in with cobble behind there and extending up the roof tiles just like you did for the wings down there. You're just doing this on the main house up here, like you see there, and we're just adding the final little decorative finales on the edges here, as is done here. Of course, this is a very common element for them to add on the tops of the roofs of Roman villas to show how nice and fancy their villa was. Let's start on the side here. As you can see, everything is meeting at the top there. And the roof tile pattern is colliding together, like so along there. And then once you get to the next phase, you're of course putting in a ridge here, just like you did along the side wings. You're just doing that all again on the top here. And some last little decorative finales on the top here. Small detail. We have to put some cobble over here for the top of our skylight. But if for some reason, if you don't want to have the skylight, you can just continue this pattern straight along there. And that's completely fine to do. And you can replace the glass down in the top of that, perhaps with a bit of glowstone. Would look nice. But once you have, at long last, done all of that on every part of the villa and constructed your statues from the other tutorial videos, your grand Roman villa will be complete. So I hope you have enjoyed the tutorial for the Roman villa. This took quite a while to design and put together, but I think in the end that you will agree that it is well worth building, and I hope you will enjoy living in it in your world or on your server for quite a long time. So I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.